All right, so now that we understand a little bit more about the C major 7 to the C minor 7, and we know how to find the 2, 3, 5, 7 voicing in our right hand, as well as the scales that we can solo over them, let's look at a new major scale, because I want to go back to this 2 chord that we've been playing for for so long, over this like starter lesson and over the break pack number 1. We were playing this 2 chord, or this D chord, but we didn't really know what it was about, like what kind of chord it was or anything like that. So this 2 chord is actually a D minor 7th chord. So D minor 7, and with the 2, 3, 5, 7 stuff that we were doing. So this is actually very similar. It's pretty much the same as this chord, which is C minor 7 and 2, 3, 5, 7, except it's just starting on D. So just like this C minor 7th chord, we have to find the D major chord to get to that D minor 7th chord. This is just a really easy way of thinking about it that that I use with my students, and that's that like we use the major 7th chord to get to the minor 7th chord. So knowing that, we first need to learn like a major scale to be able to make this chord, this D minor 7th chord, or to know where it came from, like what major scale it came from. So it came from a D major scale, and D major is just D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. So D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. And you can look these major scales up online, and this one is just it's just D major, and then in our left hand, we're going to play the 1, the 3, the 5, and the 7. So we'll play the 1, and the 3 is going to be F sharp, the 5 is going to be A, and then the 7 is going to be C sharp. So we're doing the exact same thing that we did with the C major chord, because we just took C major, which is all white keys, and then we went 1, 3, 5, 7. But then with D major, we're going to do the same thing, but it's just going to be starting from the D major scale. So we do 1, 3, 5, 7. And we're using the D major scale to say like, oh, this is the 1, this is the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So with our left hand, we play that 1, 3, 5, 7. And in our right hand, we can do the same stuff that we do for the major 7, like the C major 7, which is just we do 2, 3, 5, 7 in our right hand. So 1, 2, 2, 3, 5, 7. So then you're going to get that same kind of chord, like that kind of bright, happy, light sound that a major chord brings. And it's going to sound similar to this C 2, 3, 5, 7. C major 2, 3, 5, 7. But you can go to this 1, 3, 5, 7, 2, 3, 5, 7. God, this is so many numbers, I know. But we're just playing a 1, 3, 5, 7 in our left hand, and then 2, 3, 5, 7 in our right hand. So you need to get a little fluent with the D major scale, but once you do, you can definitely form these chords. And we're just using the exact same number system that we used when forming the C minor 7 chord, or the C major 7 chord. So once you have this though, we can do the exact same thing that we did from this C major 7 to the C minor 7. So let's do that with the D major 7. And we'll flat the 3rd and the 7th, which is going to be this F sharp, this C sharp right here, and this F sharp and this C sharp. And so once we do that, we'll have this chord, which is actually just the chord we were playing before. Like this is the 2 chord that we were so used to from the starter lessons. So what we actually did was we went from the D major here, then we flatted the 3rd and the 7th, and that gave us this chord, which is D minor 7. And right now we don't know how like some of the chords interact, like why does D minor 7 have all white keys, and why is it kind of linked with this C major 7 chord in all white keys too. But we'll get to that in time. But for now, I just want you to know how to form this D major chord, D major 7, and then with the 2, 3, 5, 7 in your right hand. And then you can flat the 3rd and the 7th here, which you flat 3rd and 7th here and here. So this F sharp and the C sharp is being flatted to an F and a C, and then you get this voicing that we were working with for a really long time, this D minor 7, 2, 3, 5, 7. So just know how to do this, and then we're going to be going into more of like sharps and flats. So I'm going to talk a lot more about that because I know this might be a little confusing, like how many sharps or flats does D major have, or you know, like how do I know like which sharps that I sharp, or which flats that I flat, and what happens when you flat a sharp, and you know, just all this crazy like questions will come up. So I want to really be clear about how to count sharps and flats and to work with them so that they're not as scary, you know, like having to say, oh my God, you know, there's so many things I have to do. So yeah, so we're going to go into sharps and flats in the next lesson.